Yo, what's up, people? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your boy Tireo, and I'm back, y'all, with another video, man. And I'm doing this particular video because I want to just share with all of my loyal fans and followers. I want to give y'all the history behind my album covers. Okay, I want to give y'all the history and the stories behind my album covers for my music, because I don't think I did a video like this, but I have so many topics, y'all. It's just hard for me to keep up. So I wanted to just do this for the fans. I wanted to do this for all of the fans that love my music, that downloaded my music, that brought my music. I just wanted to just give y'all the stories and the histories behind my albums and these album covers, okay? Alright, so let's get to it. My first album that I recorded was Before I Die for Jesus. Before I Die for Jesus was my first album that I recorded. And I recorded this album in New Orleans and Atlanta. A lot of songs that's on this album I recorded in New Orleans and I recorded in Atlanta. And the reason why I named this record Before I Die for Jesus, I'm gonna give y'all the story behind this. The reason why I named this record Before I Die for Jesus was because when I first came into the kingdom, when I was 18 years old, that's what my mind was. I used to always tell Jesus, like, I'm gonna go all out for you before I die for you. I'm gonna go all out. I'm gonna put in the work. I'm gonna put in the work. I'm gonna do this for you. I'm gonna get this done. I'm gonna get that done. I'm gonna get this done. And I told God, I was like, I'm gonna go all the way to the end, and I'm gonna do so much for you before I die for Jesus. And that's exactly what happened. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what happened, man. That's exactly what happened. And that's why I named my first album Before I Die for Jesus, because I wanted to go all out for God before I die for Jesus. Because in the end, when you living for God and you doing all this work for Him, you're basically dying for Him in the end. In the end of your life, you're basically dying for God in the end. And that's why I named my first album Before I Die for Jesus. And as you all see, like on the picture cover, you know what I'm saying? I got the Jesus shirt and everything. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's why on the picture cover, y'all see me representing the Jesus shirt and everything. And at this time of my life, this was when I was creating the Jesus clothing line. Because as I was recording the album Before I Die for Jesus, I was coming up with the clothing line at the time, but I didn't release the clothing line. So as you all see on the cover of the album, I'm representing the clothing line. So what I thought was, and what I said was, okay, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to promote the clothing line through my album cover. And that's why I took the picture, you know what I'm saying, of me rocking the Jesus shirt on my album cover for Before I Die for Jesus, because I wanted to promote and market. I wanted to promote and market the clothing line while everyone was buying my album. And that's why I did that. So basically, I killed two birds in one stone. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to release the clothing line yet. I'm going to just promote it. And what I did was I promoted the clothing line on the album cover. Yeah, that's how I did it. And that was the whole concept of the Before I Die for Jesus album. That was the whole concept behind it. You know what I'm saying? Which is a crazy, crazy story. And like I say, man, for the songs that I recorded on this album, I recorded those songs in New Orleans, and I recorded a lot of those songs in Atlanta as well. Yeah. And that's the story of the whole Before I Die for Jesus album. That's the backstory of that. All right. Then my next album was The Devil Trying to Kill Me. The Devil Trying to Kill Me album, crazy classic. The picture cover of The Devil Trying to Kill Me was created by Patrick. Salute to Patrick. Shout out to Patrick, man. Very, very talented guy. The picture cover of The Devil Trying to Kill Me was created by Patrick, and I was talking to Patrick about this picture cover, and I told him I want him to create this picture of me standing there, and I got the devil on the cover as well, and I want to name this album The Devil Trying to Kill Me. And the reason why I named this album The Devil Trying to Kill Me, because at this time of my life I was going through a lot of spiritual demonic attacks. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about nightmares, back to back to back to back to back. I'm going through this and I'm going through that. And at this time of my life, man, I'm like, man, the devil really trying to kill me, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. I'm like, the devil is really trying to kill me because I'm going through this, I'm going through that, I'm going through spiritual nightmares. I'm like, this stuff ain't stopping. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to name my album that. The Devil Trying to Kill Me. And that's how I came up with the concept of The Devil Trying to Kill Me, because I was going through so much spiritual stuff at that time, y'all. It was insane. So I told Patrick to create the cover for me and put the demon face on the cover, because that's how I felt. That's what I was going through at this time of my life. The Devil Trying to Kill Me. And we created a classic. You know what I'm saying? We created the classic. And The Devil Trying to Kill Me album, I recorded this album by my homeboy 10 Plus Studio. Yeah. I did The Devil Trying to Kill Me by his studio in Texas. Yeah. I did that whole album. I knocked out, really, I'm going to be real with y'all. The Devil Trying to Kill Me album, I knocked out this whole album in probably about 2 days. In 2 days, I knocked out the whole album. Yeah. Went in there, got to work, got it done, man. You know what I'm saying? I already had all the songs written, and that was it. I was like, let's go. And I'm the type of person, y'all, when I record songs, I knock out songs in like 6 minutes, because what I do is I go over my songs multiple times before I go record. So by the time I get to the studio, I'm already ready to go. All he got to do is put the beat on, put me in the booth. That's it. I recorded The Devil Trying to Kill Me full album in like 2 days. And that's how I came up with the whole concept of the album, because I was going through so many spiritual attacks at that time of my life. And I was like, I'm about to name my second album, The Devil Trying to Kill Me. And this album was a straight classic. I'm going to tell you what's crazy about this album. This album was not even fully mixed and mastered right. And yet, it still was a classic. It still was a classic. And the album wasn't even fully mixed and mastered right. But I just released it. I was like, man, I got to release this. I ain't going to wait. I'm going to just release it. And I released this album without this album even being fully mixed and mastered right. And I still released it to the fans. Yeah. And that was the whole concept of The Devil Trying to Kill Me. That was the whole concept of that. Then my next album after that was We Born to Die. We Born to Die. Another classic picture cover that Patrick created for me. On this picture cover, I was talking to Patrick about the cover, and I was saying, I want you to take my face and I want you to put my face in the cemetery. You know what I'm saying? Because at that time of my life, once again, by me being spiritual, you know what I'm saying? This is something that we all cannot run from. We can't escape death. We cannot escape death. And this is what a lot of people try to cover up. A lot of people try to hide it. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people be trying to live life like death ain't real. So I was like, I'm going to name my third album, We Born to Die. I'm going to name my third album, We Born to Die, because I want to paint that reality. And I'm the type of person, I don't want to give you fairy tales. I want to give you reality. We all born to die. We all are born to die. So when me and Patrick was talking about the cover, I told Patrick, I said, I want you to take my face and I want you to place my face in like the cemetery. You know what I'm saying? I want you to like kind of place my face in like the cemetery and the rest was history. Patrick, he took the, he created it, and look, came up with another fire classic album cover. Yeah, I told him I want you to take my face and I want you to place it like in a cemetery and stuff, like in a graveyard and stuff like that. And he got it done, man. And we came up with another great classic album, We Born to Die. This album, I recorded this album in Texas, and I recorded this full album by my new studio engineer, Mike. Yeah, Mike mixed and mastered the hell out of this album. You know what I'm saying? Like, Mike went in, man. Like, Mike went in mixing and mastering this album. This album is a crazy classic, man. Patrick did the picture cover. Awesome. And that's the story behind We Born to Die. And then I get to the next album, which is Fight for Your Freedom. I get to my next album, which is Fight for Your Freedom. Another classic record. And the story behind Fight for Your Freedom, the reason why I named my album Fight for Your Freedom, because at that time I felt like as followers of God, we not free. We not free. As followers of God, we not free. And throughout my whole entire life, I've been fighting for my freedom. Throughout my whole entire life, I've been fighting to be free. I've been fighting to be free from foolishness, from crazy family members, you know what I'm saying? From this crazy world. And when you really, really look at life, we all are basically fighting for our freedom. Whether you in a relationship, you fighting for your freedom in a marriage. You fighting for your freedom in a relationship. We fighting for our freedom dealing with this sick, satanic government. We fighting for our freedom in our own neighborhoods. You might be fighting for your freedom at your job. You know what I'm saying? So I had to name my album this, Fight for Your Freedom, because technically we all are fighting for our freedom. And I was like, man, I feel like I'm just fighting for my freedom down here. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I'm going to name my album that, Fight for Your Freedom. And that was my message to all of the fans. Fight for your freedom. Okay? Fight for your freedom. Fight to be free in your relationships. Fight to be free in your marriage. Fight to be free in your home. Fight to be free in your own life. Because a lot of people, believe it or not, y'all, a lot of people are not even free in their own life. Like you a slave to yourself. Like you a slave to your own life. You're not even free with yourself. And that's why I came up with the concept of Fight for Your Freedom. And if you look at the picture cover, y'all, that's a real slave cotton field. That's a real cotton field on the picture cover. Yeah, that's a real cotton field on the picture cover. Yes, that's a real cotton field. As you look at the picture cover, that's a real cotton field on that picture cover. Fight for Your Freedom. And Patrick created this cover as well. Another classic cover that Patrick created, man. And this is another album that I recorded by Mike. Mike mixed and mastered the hell out of this record as well. Classic record, Fight for Your Freedom. Okay? And the next album I did after Fight for Your Freedom, I think it was The Afterlife. Yeah. Oh my gosh, The Afterlife. Whoo, a deep album. The Afterlife. When I did The Afterlife, man, the reason why I wanted to name my album, this album, The Afterlife, because y'all know me. I'm very, 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 very spiritual. You know what I'm saying? And this is what I'm into. When we all die, we all got to come out of our bodies and we got to face the afterlife. And y'all already know me. I'm fascinated with being spiritual and spiritual things and spiritual matters. So I was like, I'm going to name my album this, The Afterlife. And another reason why I named it The Afterlife, because I know people are afraid of this. I already know people are afraid of this. You know what I'm saying? People are afraid of the afterlife. So I was like, I'm going to name it that. I'm going to name it The Afterlife because I'm fascinated by spiritual stuff like this. I'm fascinated by spiritual stuff like this. And this was another classic album cover that Patrick created. And I love how Patrick did this cover. This picture cover is just amazing. I love how he did this cover. And he created a fire classic cover for me. I told him, yo, this is it. I like it. I'm going with this one. And that was it. And I recorded this album by Mike Studio as well. Mike mixed and mastered the hell out of this record as well. And we created a classic. And this one right here is The Afterlife. To be real with y'all, if you was to ask me I don't really have a favorite album, but this one right here is crazy. And I gotta tell y'all this story as well that connects to this album. I remember the day before I recorded this album. The day before I started recording this album, I honestly thought that I was gonna die. I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. The day before I recorded this album by Mike Studio, I honestly thought I was gonna die because the songs that's on this album was so powerful. I honestly thought I wasn't gonna live to record them songs. I honestly thought I wasn't gonna live to record them songs. Straight up. Like the day before, because what happened was I called Mike and I booked my studio appointment, right? I booked my studio appointment and I'm like, all right, everything's booked. Me and Mike, we ready to go. You know, Mike tells me, come in this day at this time. We're going to get it in. Okay. So everything is booked. The studio is booked. So now you got to understand, this album was so powerful. I'm like, yo, I never got this deep with it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, I never got this deep with it on this level. I never named an album The Afterlife, and yet I'm rapping about the afterlife. And next thing you know, y'all, I started having these thoughts like, man, I might not live to record this album. That's literally what I was thinking. I was like, I might not live to record this album because I already knew the record was too powerful. The songs was too deep, and I knew. I said, if I record this album is gonna touch my fans like crazy. And I remember, y'all, this is what's crazy about it. I remember the day it was time for me to go to the studio. I woke up that morning, everything's ready, songs ready. I got my tracks ready to go, everything ready to go. I'm driving to the studio, and I'm like, man, I'm honestly thinking I'm not even going to make it to the studio. Like, literally, I'm honestly thinking I'm not even going to make it to the studio because I'm like, yo, this is a deep album I'm about to record. And I know the devil ain't going to like this. I know he not going to like this. And the first song that I recorded on the album, like the first song that I recorded when I went into the studio was Welcome to the Afterlife. That was the first song I recorded for this album, Welcome to the Afterlife. And then after that, all the other songs came, you know. And I'm going to be real with y'all. I was shocked when this album was completed. I was shocked. I was like, damn, I got through that. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to understand something. Like, when you are doing music and when you are creating music and when you have that freedom of being creative with your music, you have to make it through each song. You have to make it through each album. And especially if you're doing classic stuff. Like if you're recording I'm talking about like real classics. If you're recording real classics, you have to make it through. You got to make it through each song. You got to make it through each album. And man, when I got done with the Afterlife album, I was like, whew. I was like, oh, goodness, it's over. I was like, man, yo, I straight celebrated. Like, after I recorded this album, The Afterlife, I celebrated, man. Like, literally. So, shout out to Patrick for creating the cover of The Afterlife, man. And Mike mixed and mastered this song. He mixed and mastered this album, The Afterlife album. I recorded this in Texas, and the rest was history. Okay, and then right after The Afterlife, my next album after that, I did Hidden Legend. Oh my gosh, I did Hidden Legend. The reason why I named the record Hidden Legend because that's how I felt about my journey in my life. I know I'm a legend in everything I do for Jesus' kingdom. I know that already. I know I'm a legend, but I'm a hidden legend. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not in Hollywood. Like, you know, like you got legends, right? Like you got legends that's in Hollywood and they legends like big legends all over the world, right? Like they big legends. But with me, I'm like, okay, I'm not in Hollywood, but I'm still a legend. And I'm still great at what I do for Jesus' kingdom. So I was like, you know what? I'm a hidden legend. I'm hidden. It's like God have me hidden. So I'm a hidden legend. And that's how I named the record that. That's how I came up with the album title of Hidden Legend. Because I'm basically a hidden legend. You know, I'm not big like a Denzel Washington. I'm not big like a Will Smith and these guys, right? But I'm still a legend. Now, see, they legends too, but they legends and they big all, like they really up there, right? But I'm a legend too in what I do, but I'm a hidden legend. I'm a hidden legend. And that's how I came up with the title for that. Yeah, because that's how I feel about life and my journey. I'm a legend in what I do. I'm a hidden legend. And guess what? I'm happy with that. I'm totally happy with that because I still reached a ton load of people and I fulfilled my purpose in Jesus' kingdom. And I did great, man. Like I did great in Jesus' kingdom. I made smart choices with my life in Jesus' kingdom. And I also became a legend. I became a legend in Jesus' kingdom. So I was like, I'm gonna name my album Hidden Legend. And this album, this album is fire. This album is fire. Classic album. And Patrick did the picture cover of this. Shout out to Patrick, man. Patrick did the picture cover of this album. This album is fire. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Patrick. And Mike mixed and mastered the songs of Hidden Legend as well. Classic. And then after Hidden Legend, what I did Crucified by Evil Haters. I did the album EP called Crucified by Evil Haters. I'll give y'all the story of this. The reason why I named this record Crucified by Evil Haters, and as y'all see, I'm hanging on a cross and stuff like that. The reason why I did this album this way and I named it this because at this time, y'all, I had already became popular on the internet. At this time, I'm already a internet star. I'm like an internet celebrity, right? Okay, so I'm already popular from the internet. I done already went through all the hate. I'm looking at people say this about me, say that about me. I'm looking at all of the hatred that I got, right? So I was like, I'm basically being crucified. That's how I looked at it and that's how I felt. I'm like, I'm basically being crucified. So when I was going through all of my hatred, you know what I'm saying, of people hating me, I'm going through all of that hatred of jealous haters and this person talking about me, this person doing a video talking about me, this person talking about me, these people hating on me, these people jealous, they saying this, they saying that. I say, you know what? I'm being crucified. That's all it is. I'm being crucified. And Jesus spoke to me and he said, Tireo, you're being crucified by evil haters. You're being crucified. Remember, they crucified Jesus the same way. Everywhere Jesus went, oh, Jesus is a false prophet. Jesus is this. Jesus is that. He was being crucified. So with me, that's what it was. I was basically being crucified. So all of the jealousy that y'all see when people do videos about Tireo and they hate Tireo and they jealous of Tireo, that's real. And what I did was I turned it into an album and I named it Crucified by Evil Haters. And boom, came up with another classic. The person who did the picture cover of Crucified by Evil Haters was a girl named Kiara at the time. Me and Kiara used to be real cool at the time. And then me and her kind of fell out. You know what I'm saying? We kind of fell out over some stuff. But I still got to give props to what props is due because I'm a real one. And y'all already know me. I'm honest and I keep it a buck. Kiara did the picture cover to Crucified by Evil Haters. Straight up. She did. Talented girl. I give her props. Kiara, she's cold with it, with the art. She's very, very talented. Me and her was on the phone one time. I'm going to tell y'all how this went. Me and Kiara used to talk on the phone a lot. And she told me she did art. She told me, she know how to draw. And she's good with the drawing and she's good with the art, right? So I'm like, what? Word? For real? So I asked her, I said, well, look, can you do a picture cover for me? Can you do a cover for me? And I want you to, draw me hanging on the cross. This is what I told her on the phone. And she said, yeah, I could do that. So she did it. And she sent me a copy of it. And I said, whoa. And I said, this going to be the picture cover right here. Yeah, I said, this going to be the picture cover of Crucified by Evil Haters. Yeah, she created a fire cover for me. And I used that as the picture cover for Crucified by Evil Haters. And yes, Kiara did the album cover of Crucified by Evil Haters. And me and her used to be real cool. We fell out, you know what I'm saying, over some stuff that I'm not going to talk about on this internet, because I'm not about to put, our business out there like that. But me and her fell out over some stuff. And that was it. But I got to give her props. I got to give credit to where it's due. She created the picture cover of Crucified by Evil Haters. Yeah, and also she also created the picture of Tireo Skrilla. Kiara did that picture as well. Kiara also created the picture of Tireo Skrilla, and Kiara also created the picture of Tireo the Artist Angel. She did all three. I'm keeping it a buck. I'm telling the truth. She did all three. She did all three. Kiara did the picture cover for Crucified by Evil Haters. She did the picture cover for Tireo Skrilla. And she did the picture cover for Tireo the Honest Angel. Yeah. She created the covers like this is how she did it. She created the covers, like the pictures, and then I created the rest for those three. Yeah. Like she added her part in it, and then I added my part in it. Yeah. Like we both created those pictures together. Real stuff. Real stuff. And that's how, everything came about with that album, as far as the Crucified by Evil Haters album. Yeah, I felt like I was being crucified, man. I felt like I was being crucified. And I'm like, I'm going to just name my record that. And that was it. The rest was history. The rest was history, man. Yeah, the rest was history. So, there y'all have it, man. I gave y'all the backstories of each album that I recorded. Okay, classic fire albums. Before I Die for Jesus, Devil Trying to Kill Me, We Born to Die, Hidden Legend, Fight for Your Freedom, The Afterlife, Crucified by Evil Haters. Yo, I gave y'all the backstory of each album, man, which is crazy. And also, I recorded Crucified by Evil Haters in Texas with my studio guy Mike. Yeah, man. So classic records, man, and more to come, y'all. More to come. But I just had to give y'all the behind the scene backstory of these records. You know what I'm saying? Because as an artist, a lot of people don't understand that as artists, because I'm an artist. And as artists, y'all, we put our life in our work. Like when we in the studio rapping, or like you know what I'm saying, or whether you got someone rapping or singing, like 9 times out of 10, they're going to put their life in their work. And that's what I do. That's me. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way I can have it, y'all. Like I gotta be myself. I gotta be free 100%, and I gotta be able to be creative in my work. And I gotta be able to give people my reality of my life and what I'm going through. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. So much love, man. And like I said, shout out to Patrick for creating the fire picture covers to The Devil Trying to Kill Me, We Born to Die, Fight for Your Freedom, Hidden Legend, The Afterlife. And also shout out to Kiara for creating the pictures of Crucified by Evil Haters, Tireo Skrilla, and Tireo the Honest Angel as well, man. And shout out to my homeboy Mike, you know what I'm saying, for mixing and mastering my songs, the albums that he did. Shout out to 10 Plus, man. And shout out to all of you great, loyal fans and followers out there, man, who love my music, who buy the music, who support the music, who rock with it, who listen to it, who download it, man. Shout out to all of the fans in the U.S. and shout out to all of the fans outside the country, because I also have fans outside the country that buy my music and download my songs and everything. So shout out to all of y'all, man. Much love and much respect, man. And may you people be richly blessed in the Lord, man. Peace.